Hi, my name's Jay and welcome to my channel. In 2023, me and my family bought a rural cottage with 10 acres in the beautiful Welsh mountains. We plan to renovate our home, rewild the land, grow our own food and generally live a more sustainable life, all whilst having fun along the way. If you're new here, why not click subscribe, follow our journey and escape to rural Wales. Hi you guys, welcome back to North Wales, hope you're all well. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different video to what we usually do. This video is all about ourselves really. I had a comment recently from somebody asking for this type of video and we thought we'd give it a go. So let's start. A little bit about our backgrounds. Do you want to start?
So I'm from Sheffield originally and grew up there, went to school there, went to uni there, and then when I finished uni I got a job down in Brighton. So I moved down there and got a job in the hospital, made some friends, and then I met you a couple of years later. And that's about it really.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it,
yeah. For me, so originally I'm from Brighton, south of England. Lived there most of my life. I lived in South Africa for a little while in my early 20s. I worked abroad for a little while. But yeah, lived in Brighton most of my life before meeting yourself. When I left school, I've just worked in the corporate world really, and that's about me really. Where did we meet?
in Brighton.
Yeah, so we met in Brighton.
Online,
yeah.
online dating.
Online dating. It was, how many years ago now? So 11 years ago. 11 years ago it was. Yeah. So the first time we met, you were doing a night shift, weren't you? And I came to pick you up, didn't I?
You did, yeah. It was a Sunday morning.
I came to pick you up and drop you home. She needed a lift, and that was the first time that we met. We've been talking for quite a while, haven't we? So I know it seems a bit strange, getting into a guy's car without really knowing him.
We'd been speaking for about 4 or 5 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew each other. We'd just never met.
No. And what did we do on our first date? So you'd just done a night shift, hadn't you?
Yeah,
so,
we went and got some food.
Yeah.
And then we went bowling. And I thrashed you at bowling.
Yeah, so I said to you, didn't I, when we were there, I said, should we put the sides up? I'll put the sides up. Me being a gentleman,
up,
you know. And you said, no, don't be silly.
Don't need the bumpers.
And I thought, I've got this in the bag. And then you proceeded to absolutely thrash me.
Yeah.
I think it was about 110 to 90
no, it was more
or something.
like 200 and something.
Yeah, about 500.
Yeah, nil.
Yeah, so yeah, and then after that we had a bit of food, and then we went to do a pub quiz, didn't we?
Well, we didn't know it was a pub quiz. We just went to the pub for a few drinks on the pub that turned out to be just round the corner from where we were both living. And then they called up that they were doing a pub quiz. So, well, we decided to get involved, but we'd already had like 10 tequilas and 6 pints of beer. So
10 points if you can remember what our team name was.
The Pikachu Monsters.
The Pikachu Monsters.
Yeah.
There we go. That shows how many shots we've had.
I don't even know where that name came from.
I don't know. I'm surprised we remember it, to be honest with you. But yeah, no. 11 years ago that was now. It was crazy. Seems like yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lots happened.
Yeah, a lot.
So, why this life? Do you want to answer that one? Or?
No, you go for it.
Yeah, so I think for me personally, I mean, I grew up in the city. I spent most of my life dreaming about doing a house build. I always used to dream about living off grid as well, and you know, I used to watch River Cottage. You might remember that with Hugh Fernley-Whittingstall.
Yeah.
And I used to watch Grand Designs as well. And I used to, you know, as a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, you know, used to dream of just living a more kind of like stripped back, sustainable life. And then when I left school, I just completely and utterly got into the rat race. And when we met, you know, I think I was firmly in it, wasn't I? You know, the kind of life that came with it as well, all of the drinking, the going out, socialising, working. Going away a lot, yeah. I was working in a sales role that required me to be away quite a lot. And
I was working a lot of night shifts.
You were working night shifts, and yeah, we just, our dream was to buy a place, but living in Brighton, it was ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
I think all we could afford really on our budget was just a studio flat, I think.
Well, we were just every time we had enough money, the goalposts widened and things became more expensive, and it was like, oh well, we need to save a bit more money, and then we'd save more money, and then prices will have gone up, and inflation went up, and the interest rates went up, and we were looking at houses, and I said just jokingly, well, we could always move to North Wales. So my parents live up here. And we started looking at houses up here. And it was a no-brainer, really, because the house prices were just...
more affordable for...
A lot more affordable.
For our generation, I would say, yeah. You know, I think up here you can get property with land, or at the time you could.
I mean, what was it, 8 years ago, 7 years ago?
7 years ago it was now, way before COVID.
The properties that you could find, compared to now especially, the variety was incredible, really.
It really was.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just, you know, we were very disgruntled with modern society, I think, and we were fed up of relying on the supermarket all of the time to, you know, to
just
feed us. And
the whole system.
We just wanted to be a bit more self-sufficient, didn't we, and a bit more grow our own food. I mean, at that time, I'd never eaten a plate of food that had been grown just by myself. I have now. We have now.
Yeah.
But me personally, I hadn't. So yeah. So, I suppose for me, that's why I wanted this type of life. What about yourself?
It was the same. I was just getting fed up of relying on the system so much, and feeling like I was living in a goldfish bowl.
Yeah.
You know, like your neighbours could see you, the people behind you can see you, the people in front of you can see you, and you've got a garden that's completely overlooked, and for me it just was suffocating. I felt like I couldn't just relax in your own home, because like you'd look out the window and there might be someone looking, not on purpose, but you know, just happened to be in the window opposite, and you know, if you're sat in the garden you couldn't really like relax fully. I didn't feel like, because people were in their gardens next door, or people in the windows upstairs could see in, and where's she gone? There she's there. And it city life for me. I grew up in the countryside.
You did?
Quite rurally when I lived in Sheffield, where I grew up, and then to move from that to the city for me was really suffocating.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know this, that I could never go back to living in that way again, because it was just too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we just wanted to be more in control. We wanted to be more in control.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people do have a yearning for that. You know, I think nowadays, you know, people are just fed up with modern society. All we do is we work and we work and we work. You know, and corporate industry, NHS expects your pound of flesh. You know, and I felt like personally I was living to work, not working to live, you know, and you know, so that's why this life is.
We have a much better work-life balance now.
We do,
and it's nice that when you
we're not there yet.
No, but it is nice when you finish work that you can open the front door to this, and you're completely alone. And for some people that's quite a daunting thought, but it's not until you actually experience it and that you live remotely that you realise how good for the soul it is.
Yeah. No, definitely. It is great for the soul.
It is.
You know.
I've got my little rock that I'll go and sit and have a cup of coffee on in just complete silence.
When the weather's nice, that is.
Yeah. But it is good for the soul.
It is.
Yeah.
So that moves us on to the next question. How did we come to own land?
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
And a little bit more sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, when we first moved up to North Wales, I mean, you got a transfer at work. It seemed simple. It wasn't just a transfer. You still had to apply, but
interview and go through the whole vetting process.
You know, but they were really in demand of somebody with your skill set. So
yeah.
You had a job straight to come to. Me personally, when we moved up to Wales, I had nothing. But the previous job that I worked at,
it fell through, didn't it?
They didn't allow me to work from home or anything like that, so I had to leave the job. So I moved up here without a job, and I did some really, really, really rough jobs when we first moved up. We were renting a little two-bed house, and we had a halfway house on the other side. So when we first got up to North Wales, it wasn't your perfect environment, was it? We had a lot of drug addicts next door, a lot of screaming, shouting.
We were on a main road. Next to a pub.
We were basically paying as little as possible so that we could
save as much as possible.
Yeah, save more. We had a little bit of money, but not enough to buy what we wanted to buy up here.
And we skimped.
We skimped.
We saved.
I got a job working for this recruitment company, and they were very, very nasty people.
It was a vile company to work for.
Yeah, really, really nasty people. And the thing is, when you're trying to get a mortgage, you have to get like 6 months of pay slips. So I just had to keep my mouth shut. We saved and we saved. We didn't go out. We didn't do anything. It was just put money away, put money away, put money away.
Well, we've only just had a holiday. Our first holiday in 8 years.
Yeah. Last week.
Yeah.
So it is, like you say, sacrifice.
Yeah.
But that first house, we found a house, didn't we?
Yeah.
On Anglesey, North Wales.
A semi-detached house. It was a lovely house. It was a three bed.
3-4. Yeah.
Semi-detached house with a really large garden that overlooked Snowdonia across fields and the Straits, and then there was Snowdonia, and it got a double driveway-ish and a garage and a gate.
Yeah, and that cost us less than what a studio flat would cost at the time in Brighton.
It cost us what? Nearly 150 grand less than a studio flat?
No, it was about 30,000 less. Yeah, it was about 30,000 less. We paid £170,000 for it, and
yeah.
so it was a lovely house, wasn't it?
It was a lovely house. Yeah, we gutted it.
Yeah.
New bathroom, wallpapered, painted, decorated, carpets, everything really. The kitchen was fine. We painted the cabinets in the kitchen, didn't we? And gave it all a lick of paint downstairs. But it was the upstairs that was grotty.
Yeah, like you say, new carpets.
Yeah.
I fitted a bathroom for the first time. That was quite fun.
Yeah, and the downstairs was like an old traditional Welsh living room that was really quite dark with the inglenook fireplace, and it was painted like teal green, which made it even darker than it already was. So
yeah, we just brightened it all up and made it a lot better.
Yeah.
But we were there for 2 years on the day. 2 years on the day we were there. We actually moved out of there the same day 2 years later.
Yeah.
June the 1st it was.
Yeah.
And we moved then to another property not too far away, actually.
About 5 miles away?
Yeah. Oh, not even that, was it? It's the one.
About 3 miles, 5k, about 3 miles.
Yeah. Just down the road, really. But we then bought a property, and this was right at the start of COVID. So we bought.
The only reason we were allowed to buy it and move was because we said that we were going to move everything ourselves. Those were the rules. That, you could only move house if you were doing it yourself. You couldn't have people come and help. And the property had to be empty, and there was loads of rules around it. But it was a lovely house. Yeah,
I mean, it was remote. It had, but it was right next to a little town which had a sort of news agents and a post office and
a pub,
and it had a pub, a chippy. But yeah, it was relatively remote. I mean, we had 5.5 acres with it. It was a 4-bedroom detached house. It had
it was
stables, it had a greenhouse, it had woodlands, 2 acres of woodlands, it had an orchard, it had loads of meadowland.
On paper it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it was like a picture postcard house. It was beautiful. But it just wasn't right for us.
No.
Which we thought it was, and then we moved in and we realised that we were living
someone else's dream.
The house wasn't someone else's dream because the house hadn't been decorated in like 30 years. It needed a complete new kitchen, new bathrooms, carpets, plaster. It needed a re-gut, didn't it? But the land was someone else's dream. The woodland had been planted.
They planted the woodland.
They
watched
greenhouses had been put where they wanted them to be. The orchard was where they wanted them to be. The stables were where they wanted them to be, and for them it worked, but for us it just didn't. And whilst we loved the house, we didn't enjoy the land setup because it just didn't work.
We loved living there, but
we did,
we weren't finished.
No,
that was.
We started looking at other properties online, and then we soon realised that actually maybe
we wanted a clean canvas.
There was somewhere else out there for us, so we just kept looking, and then this place came up in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I mean we'd done a lot of work on that house as well. Completely replastered it. I'd fitted 2 bathrooms. I'd refitted the kitchen, brand new kitchen. Redecorated the whole thing, all the bedrooms, everything. More plug points.
You made doors.
I made
like
doors,
barn doors and everything.
Yeah, we turned this house into a beautiful, beautiful home, and we bought it, as I say, right at the start of COVID. And when we put in the offer, because it was the start of COVID and the house had been on the market for about 6 months, the owners were a little bit scared because they needed to sell their house because they needed to move to New Zealand, and I think they'd already bought their house in New Zealand, so they needed a sale. So we just put in a really cheeky offer, and they accepted it.
Yeah.
And we managed to sell our last house with a profit, which was good, and that's what we did. When we came to sell it after doing all of the work, because COVID happened, actually the opposite happened to what we thought. People wanted to get out of the cities and they wanted to move remotely. So areas remotely with land and all of that, the properties shot up.
Actually, probably about 80% of the viewings we had, if not nearly all of them, were people from
a city,
from the cities wanting to sell up and move somewhere like where we were living. You know.
So we made a really, really good turnaround on that one. And we lived there for 3 years, pretty much to the day as well. A few days in it that time. And then, so that had 5.5 acres. And then we found this place, very remote. We've got one neighbour who we can see in the distance. But other than that, there is nobody here. And we've got 10.5 acres here. And it is a complete clean canvas. Yeah,
it was. All of the land had been farmed, as in grazed. The house has not been touched since the 60s, so it's pretty vile.
Yeah.
Well, and then not the good 60s, the bad 60s.
They were here 40 years.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a real project, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we can do with it what we want, really, irrespective of planning permission and stuff. But the land layout is completely bare. There's no vegetable patch, there's no sheds, there's no greenhouses, there's nothing. I mean, most of the walls have fallen down. It's completely bare.
It's beautiful. It will be beautiful. See, we're really into,
wilding.
Rewilding. And although the Welsh countryside is absolutely beautiful, and I think you'd all agree, for those of you who have been to Wales and you've seen, the stone walls and the sheep and everything, it's beautiful. But it's very desolate. There's not a lot of biodiversity. All it is grazing sheep and walls. There's no trees. There's nothing.
There are parts of it where the mountains have got trees on.
It's sporadic.
But it's very sporadic, and it's not round here.
Not round here. So we want to bring back.
We want to
bring back trees. Bring back.
Be a little. What do they call it? Postage stamp.
Yeah.
On the side of the mountain that people go, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Because there's colour and there's trees and there's flowers and different. Can you hear the horses running up the hill?
Yeah.
There they come.
And in our last house where there was loads of trees, I remember sort of 5, 6 in the morning in the summer, the sound of the birds tweeting was deafening. Whereas here, you hear a few crows flying over, but I want to bring that back. I want to bring back that sound of birds,
Since we've left the grass grow long, and we've not touched it, and it's all of the fields now are like wild grass meadows with thistles and some wild flowers coming through. There have been a lot more birds this year compared to last year. I don't know if that's just because there's more bugs in the grass, or
could be
there's a bit more environment for them to live in.
Yeah. But we just want to make it better and better every year, don't we? But that brings us on to our last question. Yeah. So, what are our plans for the future?
Changes.
No, well, I think
we have the same end goal, but
the order in which we do it seems
changes.
To change. Yeah.
Things crop up. Things don't go to plan. Things break. Or costs come up, like washing machine repairs, or the kids need new shoes, or
well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? in our last house we had 2 children, you know, so we're kind of doing everything all at one go.
Yeah.
And we both still work full time. I work full time,
and
we've got a big, massive mortgage. So
we'll get there. It's just going to take time.
Yeah,
but we want to put in a veg patch, greenhouses, polytunnels. Trees. What I want to put in a huge like wildflower meadow somewhere.
House renovation.
Playground for the kids.
We've actually got quite a massive house renovation. You may have seen a video that I did on it. If not, have a look. Yeah, we're basically putting 2 extensions on the house. I'm going to be doing most of the work myself where I can. So that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, we also want to run some sort of holiday business here. And
we want to do like an off-grid, minimal impact, like glamping, almost like glamping-y type pods of some description, but so they're like movable, so that, you know, if they needed to go, it wouldn't have an impact. Compost toilets, that sort of thing, and solar or wind, because it gets very windy up here.
Very windy. Actually, how long have we waited for a clear?
It's been ages.
Yeah. And also, we want to rescue animals as well. You know, we've got 10.5 acres here, and although we're going to rewild a lot and put a lot of trees, we're still going to have fields, grazing fields.
Well, we want to just give some animals the opportunity to live here freely until the end of their days. Yeah. And that's their sole purpose.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just to enjoy themselves.
Just exist among us.
Yeah. So lots and lots of stuff. So rescuing animals, house renovation, greenhouse, growing our own food. We planted an orchard. You probably saw that in one of our old videos. And like I say, if you're new here, go back and have a look. Yeah, loads and loads of things. But what we've realised is it's not about the destination; it's about the journey. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche, doesn't it? You know,
but it's really difficult to get bogged down by things not always going to plan, or setting a deadline for a project and not achieving that, because nothing ever goes to plan. Nothing ever happens the way that you want it to, or very rarely it does. And it's accepting that. It's accepting that everything has a way of working out in the end, and it's just about trusting the process in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, this extension is going to take me probably about 4 years.
I'm hoping it'll be ready just in time. I'm hoping it'll be ready just in time for like when the kids are old enough to not be getting like blackberry fingerprints all over the sofas and the walls, and I know I'll miss those days when they're gone, but it'll be nice to enjoy it, you know.
Could always have more.
No more. No more. We'll have more animals.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our plans really. You know, we just want to just live a more sustainable life. We want to renovate our home, and if there's any possible way that we can run some sort of a glamping business here, people can come and stay, and I can maybe move out of the corporate world. And I know that you love working for the NHS, you'd never leave, but maybe cut your hours back, and we just live in a more sustainable way. And you know, you see all of these YouTubers, you know, or you read all these stories about people, you have these dreams about just moving to the middle of nowhere and just, you know, just leaving the corporate world, just leaving the rat race. It's not as easy as that. It really isn't.
No.
You know?
Not unless you're willing to accept the difficulties that come with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to literally move into a caravan up on the top of the field and sell off the rest, we probably could.
Yeah.
But you know, living that kind of lifestyle doesn't have to be you know, just literally pooing into a bucket every day.
No, we've done that. We've done that.
Yeah, we did that when we were doing the bathroom in this first house. Too much information.
Anyway, my advice would be, if you've got the opportunity to do something like this, just do it. You will not regret it. You won't ever regret doing something like this.
No.
Ever. You know, and even if it's just moving somewhere, you know, where you are, but a little bit further out, so that you can have a bigger garden to grow your own veg and have a bit more freedom, then do it. You'll never ever regret taking that leap of faith. Yeah? That, you know, just, it's scary. And even now we have times where we're like, oh my God, are we doing the right thing? But we are.
Sometimes we just think, just sell it all, go and move to Llandudno or something.
Yeah, and live in a...
Just...
Yeah, but even then we would buy like a 10-bed Victorian terrace that needed loads of work doing to it.
We would.
We'd just, yeah.
I think we're just those kind of people. We didn't ever want to be just your sort of work 9 to 5 for the rest of our lives and just live in a normal house and just, you know, we're just not those kind of people.
We wanted the challenge. We wanted
something exceptional, you know. And you know, like I say, we could have just moved into a caravan on a couple of acres and pooed in a bucket, but we want something exceptional.
We want something so that if in 10 years' time, we decide that we want to retire and go and live in a caravan and poo in a bucket, then we can do. Well, and we'll do it with a bit of money, so we can have like a gold-plated bucket instead of just a one from the Sturmat.
Travis Perkins bucket. No, but
anyway.
it's been hard getting to this point. I mean, if you're thinking of doing this, be prepared to just turn your back on your old life. No more going to pubs. No more going to restaurants. No more going to cinemas. Don't get your Disney Plus, Sky Plus packages, Netflix, this, that, the other.
Back.
Don't do it. None of it. Don't get a new phone.
Well, you can do eventually. But to get to this point, we had to have nothing. Yeah. We were eating tinned bloody potatoes at one point.
we didn't need to eat tinned
No, I know
potatoes.
we didn't need to.
You just bought tinned potatoes. And I was like, why have you bought these? We ate them for dinner. Like.
Yeah, they were like, they were like really sweet and nasty.
They were vile.
But we thought we were cutting back. We were making sacrifices.
Just potatoes.
Just potatoes would have been cheaper.
But no, if you want this kind of life, be prepared to strip back. As I say, we went on holiday when we were in Brighton. That was our last holiday before a week ago, where we basically bought a used caravan and we took it down to Barmouth for a week
with the boys
for £300 for a little pitch, £300 for a week. You know, so even now we're not splashing out. You know, even though.
But when you live like this, you realise you don't need to splash out.
You don't.
You realise that
we have everything we need.
We buy all of our clothes on Vinted.
Yeah.
We don't buy anything brand new, really.
No.
If we can source anything off Marketplace or eBay, second hand, we will do.
I still wear the same Fender t-shirt that my parents bought me about 10 years ago for Christmas.
Everything I've got on is second hand.
Yeah.
But you realise that you don't need the materialistic stuff that the media and social media tell you that you do need.
But no, it's Bonnie. So she always goes running around all the fields. She always has ticks.
Yeah, and then a couple of days later we have to
pick the ticks. And she's probably got one in her eye there.
Bonnie?
What is that?
grass seed. You filthmonger.
Literally covered head to toe in
And
grass seed. Or grass seed.
Grass.
I don't know what else there is to say,
I
really.
think we've like weirded people out now. I think we're done.
Yeah. If you guys haven't been to Wales before, North Wales, I'd recommend you come and check it out. It is beautiful country.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's beautiful. The people are wonderful. I'm learning Welsh, doing Disky Cymraeg and Bob Wythnos, and doing Wynhau. It's very, very good. I'll put subtitles on below what I just said. You have no idea, do you?
I'm learning Welsh. Something.
Yeah.
Bob with, I don't know.
Every week.
On a Monday.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, you're enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a wonderful place, honestly. I'd really, really recommend you come to visit. I mean, I'd actually never been to Wales before. It was only your parents moving here.
Well, I used to come on holiday here all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
And loved it. And it always felt a bit like home whenever we used to come on holiday here because the people are so nice. It's stunning. It's almost like going back in time a little bit. Everyone's at a slower pace. People aren't like speeding and rushing to get everywhere. And
yeah, I mean, every time that I go to Manchester or go back to Brighton and I'm driving around the city, there's absolute numpties on the roads driving around.
Everyone's just in such a rush, and it's like so stressful.
Out cars. Here, just everybody drives within the speed limit.
Yeah.
Apart from when the holiday makers come, and they're doing all the speeding.
But they probably slow down after a week or so of being here as well.
Yeah. Beautiful
just a
beaches.
Slower pace of life.
You've got mountains behind. Stunning. But yeah, I think that's it really. I think we've said everything we need to say. Any final thoughts? Well, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching. As I say, this channel is all about what we're up to, what we're doing. It's a vlog, so
if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we won't be doing videos to try and sort of get more viewings or anything like that. We're not trying to make money out of it or anything. We're just literally vlogging our
video
lives.
Diary.
It'll be something for our kids to look back on one day, and hopefully something for you guys to enjoy too. And if you've got any sort of advice or anything like that, it's welcome. Particularly when I'm doing all the renovations on the house, which will be coming soon. I've still got the barn room to finish as well. For those of you who've watched that up till now, thank you for being patient. I think I've done about 8 videos so far. But yeah, your advice is very valuable to us.
I won't be on the channel a lot.
We'll get you in where we can. But
yeah.
Whilst I'm doing a lot of the outside work on the house and work on the stuff, you're
looking after the gremlins.
Looking after the gremlins, yeah. But our youngest is getting to the age now where he can get around a bit better. He's just started walking, so
he's quick.
Yeah, so I think next summer we'll be able to be outside with the boys all the time.
He's still not found his feet yet. He's still like a little drunken old man.
Yeah. He'll get there then. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Where are the grass clippings?
Still in the wheelbarrow.
You took them over to the market?
Yeah.